pound trains are the heaviest, the largest, and the fastest things on Earth.
It's tracks like these that some rail fans can cross every day and ask themselves, when is the next train coming? Rail fanning is one of the most exciting hobbies out there. The rush you get from the wind the train's speed creates, the loudness of the horn, the bell, the squealing brakes, just the sheer size of the things. But what does each and every train have in common? They all run on tracks. No matter where you are never too far from a pair of steel rails, always lying in wait for a train to roll by on top of them. They are what lead every rail fan to what they desire, because tracks equals trains. Tracks are what make railroads unique. They are the predetermined route for every train that ever has and ever will use that line. Trains cannot just go anywhere, unlike a truck or air vehicle. Even ships have more freedom than trains. They will go anywhere there is water for them to go, just as any automobile will go anywhere there is room for them to go, and an airplane will go wherever there is an airport to land and can fly anywhere above the earth. But it's different with trains. Trains have an ultimately determined route each time they leave the yard. There are no detours on the turnpike, no pulling off the interstate for a burger, no flying 20,000 feet above Nebraska en route to Los Angeles. Trains have to deal with everything the terrain throws at them. Mountains, rivers, gorges, valleys, you name it. Tracks are what allow the trains to conquer all these obstacles, and each time there are no changes in the route, no deviations. Of course, this makes rail fanning one of the easiest hobbies out there, as you always know exactly where a train will be, as they will never be anywhere but on a track. Some say tracks add to the whole experience of trains. Some are mesmerized by the way railroad infrastructure is constructed. Some enjoy the clickety-clack of the train wheels as they roll over a jointed segment of rail. However, many simply enjoy the fact that trains are an extremely important part of our history, and many of the right-of-ways that were laid down way back in the 19th century are still being used by railroads to this day. Hobbies are popular all around the world. Almost everyone has at least one hobby they enjoy doing, whether it be cooking, biking, painting, etc. But most people are not aware of the multitude of hobbies out there. From bus watching to geocaching, there is a hobby out there that suits someone. Many of the mainstream hobbies are what get the most attention from TV, movies, media outlets, and online articles. Even model railroading is one of the most popular hobbies, and occasionally gets its 15-minute moment. But one of the best hobbies, railfanning, is almost unheard of to anyone that is not a railfan. Whenever I go out somewhere for a few hours to railfan, I'm almost always asked what I am doing by someone. Sometimes, it is a regular person just curious as to why I am standing next to railroad tracks, which is understandable. Sometimes it's a police officer suspicious of the subject standing near railroad property. And sometimes, worst of all, it's a person like this.
Central Service passengers awaiting outbound train number 105. Scheduled to arrive until after 2:35 p.m. Your train is operating 7 to 15 minutes behind schedule due to waiting on other trains.
No, you were taking pictures of me over there.
I wasn't. You want to see my camera? I don't have any.
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
I've been stopped by countless people, police officers, and paranoid individuals, all wondering what I am doing. I tell them all the same words: I'm filming the trains. And each time, each different person gives me the exact same look. You know that look. The look of disbelief. The look of confusion. The look of, why on earth would this person be filming a train? It's that look that prompts many of us to go into hiding, concealing the fact we have this hobby. Many of us never want to be seen while we are railfanning, so we find a crossing on a non-busy road in the middle of nowhere, or we stay put behind a structure along the tracks. Some do not mind the attention, They go anywhere there is a shot to get, like a sidewalk along a 6-lane road in the middle of town, or the platform of an Amtrak station. But those of us who absolutely hate being seen, silently judged, ridiculed by random passersby, have had about enough. Who knows if one day railfanning will become mainstream? Various events across the country, such as Railroad Days or Depot Days, are always welcoming to railfans, and they seem to be gaining momentum. Hundreds of railfans always attend the events in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Galesburg and Rochelle, Illinois, even the Horseshoe Curve in Altoona, Pennsylvania. National Train Day is a great excuse to go railfanning if you needed one, and many railfanning venues across the nation are always packed with railfans this day. Many railfan parks across the country are being built, all starting with the one in Rochelle in 1998. Today you cannot count the amount of parks now dedicated to railfans, like the ones in Rochelle, Homewood and Galesburg, Illinois, Fostoria, Deschler and Bellevue, Ohio, the Horseshoe Curve in Altoona, Pennsylvania, North Platte, Nebraska, Folkston, Georgia, Irondale, Alabama, Plant City, Florida, even the station in Fullerton, California, is always packed with welcoming railfans. All of these places and events, as well as the amount of youth joining the hobby, may one day help move railfanning into the bigger picture of well-known hobbies. Foamer is a derogatory term used by railroad employees and railfans alike to describe railfans who partake in the hobby to an excessive extent. That is, anyone who screams, curses, or plainly obsesses over a train is liable to be a foamer. Foamer essentially means that we, as railfans, foam at the mouth whenever we see a train. That is true in some circumstances, though some more than others. It can really be only judged case by case. But just what is a foamer?
Hey, you! Do you think you have what it takes to be a foamer? Do you know what a foamer is? Well, sir, to be a foamer, you first need to be a railfan. Are you a railfan? Swell! Now, to be a foamer, you need to have certain items from a specific list. Shall we see what you have? Let's see. Do you have a camera and a tripod? Great! Do you have your ATCS monitor running? Splendid! Do you have your lucky railfan hat on? Peachy keen. But it looks like you forgot one crucial part. Do you know what it is? Your scanner! Congratulations! You are now ready to be a foamer.
Foamers are a different type of rail fan, no doubt. Most casual rail fans just take their photos and videos and go home. Foamers, they dress in vests, railroad apparel, speed on the highway to chase a train, wave to the crew, jump up and down, you get the picture. It is this behavior that causes many in the railfan community to become annoyed with and even act upon these people. Sometimes, these feelings and actions are justifiable. These mega railfans or foamers often get into trouble and represent the railfanning community in a negative way. Many trespass deep into railroad property. Some steal railroad equipment, such as horns or trackside items like signs or even signal heads. And some, worst of all, put themselves in danger to get a shot. This causes railroads and employees alike to not tolerate railfans in many places, often calling the police or railroad security on them. While some foamers are just merely dedicated railfans who stay within the law, others set a bad example and do not promote the advancement of the hobby. The question every railfan is asked is one that we don't know how to answer. We are asked, why do we do this? And we simply cannot answer. Not because we don't want to, but because we truly don't know why. No one knows why we enjoy watching 18,000 tons of cold steel hurtling towards its destination. Why we love to record and photograph trains for our own pleasure. Why we insist on taking time out of our day to go watch trains. We just do. In fact, we love it so much, we sometimes base our lives around it. A lot of railfans later go on to a career in railroading, or some job relating to the industry. Others make railfanning a top priority in their lives, making their schedules around railfanning time, or missing important events for a railfanning trip. Granted, those are the more extreme cases, but every single railfan can agree that trains are an important part of their lives. Some enjoy trains because it opens up a whole new world and makes you see your environment in a whole new light. Others enjoy trains because they provide fun ways to photograph and film moving objects. But most of all, people enjoy trains because trains are unique. Trains are the hobby that draws millions around the world to enjoy every day. Unfortunately, railfanning is also one of the most unknown hobbies out there, and only those who personally know a railfan would know what it truly is. But all in all, railfanning is without a doubt the best way for many people to express themselves and embrace others around them, all brought together for the common reason of watching trains.